Hi guys, I created this really smoky but also really natural daytime glam look using the Jaclyn and Morphe palette. I really love how this turned out, so if you want to see how I did it, then just keep watching. So I started off with a blank face. I had just washed my face and moisturized, and I'm starting with the Smashbox Primer Water. I don't know why I use it, I just think it feels nice on my skin. And then using the Josie Maran Argan oil, I'm using that to moisturize my eyelids. I have some pretty dry eyelids, so I like to moisturize this and keep any dry, flaky skin down. It's a good base when I'm using my eyeshadow because it just keeps all my dry skin in place. Now I'm going in with my Urban Decay Naked Concealer in Fair Neutral. I like using this as a base because it covers up all my dark circles and it's a really good base for colors to really pop out on. I'm using my Real Techniques Beauty Sponge and blending that out. It really blends out really nicely. It covers up most of my darkness for the most part. Then I'm going in with the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder and this big fluffy brush from e.l.f. This is the e.l.f. Total Face Brush, and I'm just using that to set my eyes so that I have a good base to start with the eyeshadow. And now I'm using the Jaclyn palette by Morphe. I am obsessed with this palette. I'm so in love with it. I really can't say anything bad about this palette. And I'm going in with my Sigma E25 blending brush in Creamsicle, and I'm starting to focus this all over my outer corner and kind of into the middle of my eye and then all over my crease. And I also like to blend this up kind of high towards my brow bone. I like using this color because it's really orangey and it's a really good transition shade for when I put down like darker browns. They really blend well into each other. I mean, the Jaclyn palette, everything blends well anyways, but I love using this color as a transition shade to start. And then with that same Sigma E25, I'm going in with Silk Cream and MFEO, and I'm really just going into that outer corner again in that crease and deepening everything up. This is the first of the light browns that I'm setting down, and they really set the stage for the rest of the look. When I put down these shades, everything just blends really nicely together, and I like the way that it looks. And here I am dancing, I guess. I have no idea what I was listening to, but it was a good song to blend to. And then again with that E25, I'm going in with some more browns. I'm using Butter and Pooter, and again I'm putting that all over my outer corner and in my crease, but this time I'm really focusing more towards the inner part of my eye, like the center of my eyelid. I'm starting to bring everything towards the middle just to deepen up the inner part of my outer corner. And then I'm going in with Pukey and Creamsicle, and I'm putting this around the edges of the shadow. I'm doing this so I can blend everything out so there's no harsh lines and the shadows will transition seamlessly up into my brow bone. And then using this dense Sonia Kashuk brush, which I honestly have no idea what the name is, I'm going in with Mocha, and I'm really just putting this all over my outer corner and making sure not to blend too high up, which is why I'm using the dense brush to really pack it on with swiping motions and then blend it out with some circular motions. I'm going in with the same brush and going into Chip and Central Park, and I'm going back into the outer corner. I'm going in diagonal motions really from the outer corner to the lash line to help really blend this look out. And then back with the Sigma E25, I'm going into Pukey, Silk Cream, and Butter, basically all these warm transition shades, and I'm going back to the outer part of the shadow just to blend everything and make sure there's no harsh lines. And then I'm doing exactly what I did on that other eye on this eye. So I'm going in with Chip and Central Park and really deepening the outer corner and blending out the shadows with all of those warm transitions. And then I'm going just with those warm shadows again and bringing everything into my inner corner. And then with an e.l.f. flat eyeshadow brush, I'm going in with Meeks and SBN, and I'm using my NYX Dewy Finish Setting Spray to wet the shadow on my brush. It really helps things pop, and I'm putting that all over my lid. You could cut the crease at this point and then put on the shadow, but I kind of like the way it looked just using the shadow to kind of cut the crease. I think it helped make the look a lot softer and more daytime appropriate. This is honestly my favorite part of the eye look. I just love the way these shimmers look, and I love the way it ties in the whole look together. And then I was feeling like I wanted a darker shimmer in there, so with a little bit of 24/7, I packed that in the space between the lighter shimmers and the matte browns. And then with that same Sonia Kashuk brush, I'm going in with Central Park and Soda Pop, barely, and packing that again into my outer corner, blending from the outer corner to my lash line, and then up into the crease slightly. With the E25 blender I had used, I'm going back with Pukey and Creamsicle and blending out the outer part of the eyeshadow so that there's no harsh lines. And then I'm going back to the other eye and doing the same, packing those deep browns onto the outer corner and then blending everything out. And then with another e.l.f. eyeshadow brush, I'm packing Beam onto it and highlighting my brow bone. This freaking eyeshadow is so pretty. I love the way it looks on my skin. I have pretty fair skin with pink undertones, so it's hard to find a highlight that doesn't look either too rosy on me or too gold, and I am obsessed with this. And then I'm curling my lashes. I honestly don't know what this is called. I think I've had this before I was born. And then I'm using the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara to prep my lashes for falsies. This makes my lashes so black, I can't even see them through my falsies at all. And I'm using the Ardell Wispies today. I don't know what number they are, I'm sorry, but they're really pretty. I find them at Target. And I'm also using this Duo Lash Glue to glue them. It's pretty hard to film putting on lashes, so just pretend that you can see what I'm doing. Thanks. And then using the curler, I'm squishing my falsies together with my real lashes. I think it helps bring the lash band down closer to my eyelash when I fail horribly and can't even put my lashes on. Now I'm putting lash glue on the other lash and putting it on my eyeball. And as you can tell, I'm struggling a bit. I like to use these tweezers to help put the inner corner in its place where it belongs so it doesn't fly up out of nowhere in the middle of the day. And then again, using the curler, I curl my lashes together with the falsies so that it looks more natural and like I didn't just spend 20 minutes trying to put them on. And then using the Josie Maran Argan Oil, I'm putting this all over my face. I'm just dropping it onto my face and then rubbing it in with my hands, because why not? I like the way that this feels. Like I said before, I have pretty dry skin, so using this kind of helps create a smooth, really non-textured base to put my foundation on, and I feel like my foundation stays way longer without budging when I use this. And then I'm using my Morphe G6 brush, spraying with a little bit of NYX Dewy setting spray, and my Josie Maran Vibrancy foundation in Supernatural RG10. I'm using 1 drop of that, and then 2 drops of my Cover FX Custom Enhancer drops in Celestial. I mix this together because I think it makes a really nice dewy look, and I like to look glowy all day long. And then I just dot this all over my face, and then using that slightly dampened Morphe G6 brush, I go in circular motions, small circular motions all over my face. I go one section at a time, so I go cheek, cheek, forehead. So I spread it all over my first cheek and then partially over my chin and nose, and then I also blend it out again with my beauty blender. I think it helps eliminate the streakiness when I use a brush, but I love the way that the brush makes this foundation look. And then I'm doing the same again on my other cheek, making sure to blend down my chin so that I don't look like Casper the Friendly Ghost when I have my foundation on, and then blending again with my blending sponge. And then I'm going all over my forehead with my little dots and blending again. And then again with my blending sponge, I'm going to blend my big old forehead. And then again with the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer that I used on my eyes, I'm going to go in a kind of half triangle under my eyes and blend that out with my Beauty Blender again. Now as you can see, I have some pretty dark circles, so I love the way that this concealer hides those. And then I'm going again on the other under eye and blending with my beauty sponge. Then I'm highlighting my chin, upper lip, nose, and forehead with the same concealer and blending all of those spots out with my beauty sponge. And then using the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Liquid Glow Illuminator in C301 Ice, I'm dotting this on the high points of my cheek and blending those out with my beauty sponge. I love the way that this liquid highlighter looks, especially under a powder highlighter later. I just think it makes it look very glowy from within, and this color actually works perfectly on my skin color. And then with that same Laura Mercier translucent powder, I'm going in with my damp beauty sponge and setting under my eyes. Using a damp sponge and powder, it kind of makes it so that the powder melts seamlessly into my under eye, and it creates a really seamless, flawless look. And then with a big old fat powder brush, I'm just setting the rest of my face in patting motions, not sweeping, so that I don't make any of my dry skin underneath come up. And then I'm using my Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in medium brown and the Anastasia Brow Brush in number 14. I'm just going to do my eyebrows. There's no real rhyme or reason to this. I kind of just follow the underneath of my brows and then curve them and then fill them in and fill them in some more and look at myself weirdly and brush them out. And that's really how I do it. I'm not a brow perfectionist. They just got to be looking decent for me. And then using this random brush that does not even have a name on it, I think I've had it since before the Vietnam War, I'm going in with Mocha and Chip, and I'm just deepening up the lower lash line. Again, I feel like this really ties the look in together. I love the way that the dark looks on the outer corner. I don't bring it all the way in just because I don't want to close off my eyes. I want to keep things smoky. Then I'm going in with Creamsicle and Silk Cream. I'm just blending that out so it's not just this harsh, stark brown line on my lash line. And then with that L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara, I'm just putting mascara on my bottom lashes. I'm using this Marc Jacobs black liner, and I'm just lining the outer portion of my lower waterline. I don't really like bringing this all the way in. I like the smoky effect it makes when I keep it on the outer portion. Then I'm going with this white liner. I think it's by Rimmel. I honestly don't know. I've had it for a while, and I like to put this on the rest of my waterline just to lighten things up, and I blend it into the black so it's not as a harsh ending. And then using the flat e.l.f. eyeshadow brush, I'm going into Beam and highlighting my inner corner. Like I said before, this freaking color is so gorgeous, and no inner corner highlight has ever really worked for me, but this one works. Then I'm going in with my Hoola bronzer and my e.l.f. complexion brush, and bronzing up my face, contouring a little. I start contouring at my cheekbones, so I carve those out, and then I carve out my jawline, and then with whatever remaining powder I have, I like to go around the perimeter of my big ol' forehead. And then with whatever remaining powder I still have, I put a little bit on my nose. Then using my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder and the flat edge of the Real Techniques beauty sponge, I like to carve out that contour, and then very soon afterward I brushed away with that big fat e.l.f. brush. Then I'm using Champagne Pop from Jaclyn Hill's Becca collaboration. I'm putting this all over the points where I put the L'Oreal True Match Illuminator. I think it makes everything pop even more, and I love the way that this color looks on me. I'm also putting this on the tip of my nose, the bridge of my nose, and then above my Cupid's bow. And on top of Champagne Pop, I'm putting a little bit of Beam, and I think that it was such a good idea that Jaclyn put this color in the palette because it's such a good highlighter, not only for the eyes, but also all over the face. And now for lips, I'm using my NYX lip liner in Nude Pink. I'm putting this all over the outside of my lips and kind of overdrawing my Cupid's bow because I don't really have one. So as you can see, I'm just kind of overlining the Cupid's bow of my lips, and then I'm going to line the rest of my lips. And then for my actual lip color, I'm using ColourPop Ultra Satin Lip in Echo Park, and I'm just putting this all over my lips. And then to set everything in place, I'm using my NYX Dewy Finish Setting Spray and spraying that all over my face. And this is the final look. Thank you so much for watching. I love the way this turned out. I could do brown smoky eyes all day, every day, but I obviously want to try new things and put more videos out there. So if you like this, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment, let me know if you liked it, if you want to see more, and thank you for watching.